All right, apparently we're live. So, can you say it says you can view this on your YouTube channel as well. Let's take a look. Is it? I guess I'll just look on mine. Do. Taking me forever to type this.
Are we
Okay,
live?
yeah, we're live.
Technical difficulties.
All right, so yeah, this is I guess something I've been kind of wanting to do. I guess with these guys, but for a little bit here. So I just decided to call it a paranormal live stream. So it's kind of like where we
talk about ghosts and everything that goes what goes bumping the night.
what goes bumping the fucking night. Yeah. So yeah, if you haven't seen my videos, you know I'm Tommy Tombstone. If you haven't, then you know whatever. Why the fuck you watching this? Yeah. So I make YouTube videos. Obviously, I do a ghost vlog series called Tommy Amongst the Tombstones, and I look for fucking ghosts. And I guess these guys can tell you what they do.
So we're What Goes Bumping the Night. My name is Bradley Clark.
And I'm Trevor Jensen.
And we also look for ghosts, but we do more than that. We have a podcast. You can find us everywhere you find podcasts.
We got 68 episodes.
Yeah, we're about to have our 68th episode on Wednesday, which is actually going to be a creepypasta that I wrote myself called Lake Michigan Leviathan. We're super excited for that one. So yeah, we do creepypastas. We talk about current events like crazy shit that's happened in the world. Like
we touch anything
that can have paranormal or supernatural energy like surrounding it. We talk about it.
Cryptics, everything.
Like Tommy Tombstone, we have been doing a vlog series.
Serious
to cemeteries and trying to talk to ghosts, and it's going pretty well.
It's spooky.
If you like ghosts, it's going pretty well. Like they're definitely out there. I can 100% confirm that ghosts are real. So if you want to dispute that, you try us because we've documented it all over the place. As have you, Tommy.
Yeah. So a funny story about these guys. I did an episode or investigation at Nunica Cemetery, which is supposedly supposed to be one of the most haunted places in Michigan. And right before, we were literally like pulling on the road by the cemetery, and we see this fucking car pull out of the cemetery, and we're like, dude, we literally drove like 2 hours to this place, and you're telling me there's already like cops in there?
Yep.
So what the fuck? So we like pull in this parking lot, and we're like sit there for a second, and then we see these like people like walking out of there, which is actually these guys. And
he wasn't with us, but
I had to kick.
Oh yeah, he wasn't there. So
I've been to everyone but that one.
That's the only one he hasn't been to.
That actually is funny. So yeah, that's literally how I met these guys. We met them in a parking lot, a car rental parking lot, I think it was, or whatever, right next to Nunica Cemetery. And yeah, that's kind of how it happened. So, but yeah, thanks for coming on this. Like I said, I've never done this before. I did one with I didn't start it. I was on it. But have you ever guys heard of Living History Comes Alive?
I don't think so, actually.
No, it's me.
He has a pretty decent YouTube channel going on. He has like freaking 900 videos on his YouTube channel, but he does a lot of like history videos and paranormal stuff, investigations and stuff. And I did a video at Silverbrook Cemetery in Niles, Michigan. And when I was on the way there, I was looking up a video about it just to find out more information, and it just so happened to be his video. Well, I did the video and got information from it that I said in there, like a little about it and like what happened and stuff. But and then literally it was really funny because like right after that, this guy messages me on Instagram and is like, "Hey man, I like your videos, blah blah blah. We should collab." So we just did a collaboration this past weekend at St. Joseph Cemetery in Niles. And that was fucking probably the craziest investigation I've ever done. I don't know if you guys watched that one, but it was crazy.
I haven't yet.
Let's hear about it. I was I'm actually so curious.
About the investigation there?
Yeah.
Oh, before I say this, do you guys know how to like share this to other like. Okay, I guess it says share, but I don't really know where else to put it. So screw it. I don't really care. It's the first one. I don't
Sometimes
really
I feel
care.
completely technologically like inclined, but then today it's like, nope, I don't know.
All right. Well, anyway, screw it. So yeah,
I'm sharing it to our Facebook page.
Okay. But anyways, about that investigation, yeah. So I was in contact. His name's Drew. If you ever, I mean, I'm in his videos. The last investigation, we just did one last night as well. But about this one, I was talking about collaborating with him, and I was like, hey, so you got any places in mind? So he tells me, he's like, hey, this Saturday, we're going. This was last Saturday. We're going to a place called St. Joseph Cemetery in Niles. And I was like, okay, I've never heard of this freaking place. So we get, all the fresh deets and stuff and head out there. And I actually passed the place because it's kind of weird. It's like you go down this road, and I've been to Niles so many times, but I've never been to this part of Niles. Niles is actually, I don't know, have you ever been to Niles, Michigan?
Probably
At all? Either of you?
I don't think
Okay,
I ever
well,
lived in there, but
it's actually a pretty big town, and there's a lot of historical stuff there. But anyways, I was going down the road, and like I said, I've never been to this side of Niles. And I passed it, and then I turned around, and I was like, there's a sign that says St. Joseph Cemetery, and it had like an arrow. Yeah. And you like go down this like freaking narrow path in the woods. It's like a gravel. It's not even like a fucking road. It's like a half-ass road. And you go down it, and I was like,
that's what mouse cemetery is like. You literally drive to the end of the dirt road, and then you like drive what looks like someone's driveway into the cemetery.
Really?
So, you like go in between like two houses, driveways, and then you like go down the road a little more.
It's like a track,
and then all of a sudden it opens up to this really old freaking street lamp that's still like one of those yellow lights, and it isn't even like an LED or anything. And it's just super ominous. And then there's just a cemetery in the darkness of the woods.
That's I'm saying. I've been wanting to go there. I'll get to that later. I'll finish telling my story, I guess, about this.
Yeah, of course.
So we're like driving down this little path, and I'm like, holy shit. Okay, now I'm seeing why he wanted us to go here, because I was like, this is already giving me like really creepy vibes. You go down the road, or the little path, and then it's like it goes back decently far, and then it comes to this old ass cemetery like in the woods. And it's not like overgrown like Mouth or anything like that, but it's every headstone there is like from the 1800s. And I didn't even know, like I went into this knowing nothing about this fucking place.
Blind as hell.
Yeah. So we walk in there, and my camera woman, Maya, she's my girlfriend, and she usually films a lot of the vlogs and stuff. Before this, she was like, oh my God, she's like, are you sure these people aren't going to like kill you or something like that? And I'm like, dude, I doubt it. I mean, he's like an older person, and I didn't even know the other lady. There's her name's Amy. She was coming. I never met her. I was talking to him. So yeah, we pull up there, we get out, and I was like, okay, this is definitely giving me creepy vibes. We meet them. We probably shoot the shit for about like 20, 30 minutes. And he tells us a little about it. Little I know, it's like that this place has been around there since like this, what do you say? Like something like the 1600s.
Shit.
I'm terrible at like remembering stuff, but like something about like the French trappers and stuff were there. But basically there was a church there in the middle of that cemetery that used to be there. And it goes back to like something about the 1600s. Quote me if I'm wrong. But there's still like the perimeter where it was. And I was like, holy shit, I did not even know there was like used to be a church here. And he starts to tell me all like the history behind it and stuff and all that. If you want to check that, I can't remember everything about it. Just watch the video. He talks about it. And so, yeah, I was like, okay, I'm feeling this place now. So we start the investigation, and we start to get a little weird stuff, but it didn't start really getting weird until we go to this. Maya was telling me, it's like, I don't really feel, I feel like this weird feeling over by this line of like headstones. And it was underneath this acorn tree or an oak tree or whatever. And as soon as we go over there, like acorns start falling, like almost hitting us.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, whatever. It's like, it's acorns falling. It's a normal thing.
It's nature.
Right. But it's like, I started asking through the spirit box, and I was like, is there a spirit here that wants to communicate with us? And we get Thomas. And it's like, okay. And then we're like, I'm trying to sum it up.
It's always weird when you get a direct name. Like, through the spirit
Oh, it was
box.
clear, and it
And
said
it's always
Thomas multiple.
clear. Like,
Yeah.
and, like, names come through so clear, and like people always say, well, you're just scanning radio stations. Well, how often do you hear a name on the radio?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
why would it show up? You're asking a question. What's your name? What are the chances that a name's gonna come through on the radio at the exact same time that you ask the question?
That's what I'm saying. That's why a lot of people give like the spirit box, like they give it shit because it's like, oh, it's just rambling words coming through radio stations. But it's like
I
a
used
lot
to
of
be
it's,
that type too.
but
like when
it's
it has
such
like relevance to it. It's like, okay, I don't really know how to like debunk that.
right, yeah, right. And but anyways, it's so we got Thomas like at least 2 or 3 times, and then like literally like these acorns almost were like dropping right next to us, almost hitting us, and we're like, Thomas, is that you dropping acorns? And I forget, I think it said yes, I can't remember exactly. And they were like, okay, what the fuck? And then we like asked it, we were like, can you drop another acorn for us? And like immediately after that, it dropped another acorn. And then so that was weird, it kept happening, and so we're like, this is weird. And then I was like, Thomas, we wanted to find out if there was actually a Thomas there, right?
Yeah.
So we're like, Thomas, do you want to play hot or cold to find your tombstone? So we start doing that, and it starts telling us cold. It starts telling us like directions, like to the left, backward, and it comes all the way to the point where we get to those line of tombstones, and there's a bunch. There's like one that was unmarked, and I was like, hey, Thomas. Hello, says hi. I think that's Ethan. Ethan, is that you? Hey, what's up? So we get to that. We go to the unmarked tombstone, and I was like, Thomas, is this your grave? And it says it is.
Shit.
And I was like, okay, what the fuck? That was really crazy. Like,
he brought you to
yeah,
the unmarked grave.
Yeah, and then Drew, because he knows all his history stuff, looked up there. There was a Thomas O'Neill that was buried in that cemetery. I think there was 2 Thomases. It was either 2 or 1, but the one Thomas O'Neill was like a 1-year-old. And then once again, I forgot when we were playing like hot and cold and stuff, and it was dropping acorns. We're like, do you think this is fun? And it said, what the fuck did it say? It was like, it said it is fun or something like that, and then it said like play with you.
That's definitely
so.
Yes,
yeah, and then so Drew, after I didn't even know this till after I did the video, and he put it in his video that he looked it up, and there was a Thomas O'Neill, and it was a 1.5-year-old child. So that was fucking crazy. And then so that was probably one of the biggest highlights of the night. And then we got like the music box to go off a couple times, and then at the end is when it got.
Music box. So jealous of that. That thing's creepy though. That music box is so creepy when it goes off.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, in my opinion, it's kind of like a waste of money because, I mean, it's cool to have, but it's like $400 fucking dollars. It's kind of ridiculous.
Buy like the ducks that light up.
Yeah, I saw that you guys have that. I'm assuming that's a lot cheaper.
It's like $1.
Like $1.
Is it really only $1?
Yeah, we go to Meijer and go through their like checkout line. And we're like, hey, this is like our signature thing to bring ducks that light up. And then they sometimes will actually light up on their own. And we're like, oh, well, fuck yeah.
At Eloise Asylum, they love the duck. Like,
That was nuts.
Yeah, I watched that video or the podcast about that, which had that in that.
Yeah.
That was fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's probably the coolest thing that I think we've ever had happen. Besides, like the shadow figure we caught.
Or the Lincoln County Jail was probably wicked too.
Anyway, so at the end of that investigation, it got really dark. It just a turn of events. We started seeing these like glowing eyes in the cemetery. These like orange glowing eyes, and there was multiple sets of them. It didn't make any noises, but at that point, they were all starting to freak out. So I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Because they were like really low to the ground, so they seemed to think it wasn't deer or anything. So it was like, "Okay, this is coyote or whatever." So me, it's like, okay, I don't remember exactly. It was pretty low to the ground, but I was like, fuck it. I was like, guys, I'm going to go over there to try to see what this is. And they were like freaked out, and they told us like, no, don't do it. And so I was like, okay, I guess I won't. But meanwhile, like when we were seeing that off Drew's spirit box, we were getting like prior, like earlier in the night, he was getting like Satan and stuff like that. And then at that point, it was telling us to exit, leave, deceit, take cover. So we're like, yeah, we should probably get the hell out of here. So we kind of just called it a night after that. But that was probably like the craziest investigation I've done so far. And like going into with knowing little to nothing about the place, I'd say it went pretty well. So
yeah, I would say that sounds cool.
That sounds like a really fun video.
Yeah, definitely check out the video because it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, definitely will have to. I think.
What is your guys' like craziest experience, or if it's not a video, but like your crazy experience with like the paranormal?
I have like 3 good stories, and like one's kind of quick and the other one's a little longer. But the reason that I got into the paranormal was my friends are kind of assholes. And when we were kids, one of my friends, Chris, he had this house that it was fairly newly built and stuff, but always some crazy shit would happen while we were there. So like, one of my friends saw a black figure on the staircase and it went upstairs and he followed it, and then he checked everybody's room and everybody was sleeping. And I was like, oh, okay, like that's a little weird. And then one night we were all hanging out there, and one of the doors to the basement is like, it was one of those like French doors, and it was shut. And like you saw the handle turn and the door open on its own. Wasn't windy. It was like, that's also fucking weird. But then these dickheads decided they were gonna tie me to a chair and put me in the back of their electrical closet in the basement. And then they turned the lights off, put a camera in my lap, and they were like, all right, we're gonna do a Ouija board out here, but they used Connect blocks. And they drew it with crayon on a paper, and I was like, do you guys? I'm just going to sit here. And I was extremely skeptical at this point still. And I was just sitting there. Camera was full battery, just dead. Immediately turned off, and I was like, guys, the camera turned off. Can't move my hands. So they come back in there, and they turn the camera on, and they're sitting there, like, pointing at my face, and we're all laughing, the lights are on. And then all of a sudden, I felt I had long hair at that point, too. I felt someone grab the back of my hair and just yank my head back. And, like, my head almost hit the wall behind me. And I was sitting against the wall. And at that point, I was like, I'm going full Hulk. I'm ripping my hands out of this. Like, I'm running out of here. And I pretty much ran with a chair on my ass, like, all the way through the electrical closet. I was like, I won't go back in there. Like, fuck that. And that's what really got me into it. And then ever since then, we've just had, like, more and more crazy experiences that are just, like step up every time where it's like, all right, are we, like prone to having this shit happen to us? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I've had paranormal experiences dating back to, like, my childhood. Like, I've lived in 2 very, very haunted homes. One of our houses, like, I remember I would be in the basement playing hockey, and I would hear someone run down the stairs and slam the door, like, as hard as they possibly could. And then I would run over, and I would be like, Mel, stop playing with me. Like, that's my sister. I'd be like, stop running down the stairs. You're scaring me. And then my mom and my sister would be like, no one ran down the stairs. Because I would get yelled at for slamming the door. And I'd be like, I didn't slam the door. It was Mel. And then we also had we had like these slot machines in our basement there at that house, and they would randomly hit jackpots in the middle of the night.
Spit out coins.
So you would go down there, and like the whole basement would be covered in coins because all of the jackpots would be going off on these slot machines.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I seen a figure there. We seen shadow people all the time. They would run up and down the halls.
Are you talking about your parents' house right now?
No.
No, I mean, that one I also feel like is haunted too.
Yeah, we've had some stuff happen there too. Like, there's these doors that like slide into the wall. And
pocket door.
They slam by themselves quite a bit. Or like I got home from work one day and I was sitting in the living room on the like reclining chair, like the lazy boy, with just one of the dogs like petting him. And I heard a full-blown argument between an older man and an older woman happen in my parents' bedroom. I was just sitting there listening to it. I couldn't make out any of the words that they were selling. But they were yelling at each other, and it was definitely a heated argument. So I ran back there to be like, clear my mind that it was just a TV on in their room or something. And nothing was on. I was the only one in the house. My neighbors weren't even home, so it wasn't them. Like, that was crazy.
had many a drunken night in your basement at your parents' house now, and I'd always feel like somebody's watching me. And the weirdest part was they have a bunch of like old porcelain dolls, and it's like I swear to God, those eyes follow you around.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's super fucking creepy.
We have this one. It's like an old lady. Swear on my life, it's haunted. That thing watches you. It has those bright green eyes too.
Mm-hmm.
An old lady or like a doll, or what are you talking about?
It's like a porcelain doll that's just like like hard
It's
glass.
literally a
almost.
doll. Of like
Oh God, those things.
Yeah, like we have. Most of them are put away now, but my mom started collecting cookie jars now. But we used to have people hated coming to our house because you walk in and it was just a display case full of really, really old dolls.
Yeah, almost all the way up to the ceiling.
Like antiques.
Oh,
They
those
used
are
to
always
be
the
in my room
best.
for a long time too.
Creep me the fuck out.
So
I remember like passing out in there and just like, oh my God.
is this like why you guys like became friends, the paranormal stuff, or is just besides that? Like that
Hockey.
kind of like
Hockey was how we became friends.
Oh yeah,
we
okay.
played hockey together.
Hockey and ghost.
Best combo.
Shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, no, I've never really had that many paranormal experiences until I started doing this shit. Really, I mean, I've had some weird feelings before and about like stuff like feels like something's watching me and stuff, but I've never had like fucking like doors slamming or anything like that. Like, not until I started doing this stuff, and now it's just like it opened my eyes about everything.
Right.
It really changes your perspective on like life and stuff. It's weird, religion and all that.
Yeah, well, and like we went to was it 2 ghost hunts for Ghost Hunts USA that like like they take you to paranormal like hot spots is what they call them. But we went to the old Lincoln County Jail in Ohio, and that was the first time we'd ever done anything like that other than just when we go to the graveyards and stuff. And it was like, all right,
It's the first time we ever did a like investigation together.
Yeah, and it was like, okay, so we're just kind of with a bunch of random people in this random place that people say is haunted. And like Ghost Adventures had been there and stuff like that. And they're like telling us all the history behind it, how people were like burned in their cells because they lit on fire. People slit their throats because there was like a bunch of other things that happened. And people shanked each other. And then there was another guy that shot a cop, and then the whole town was like super pissed about it. So they ran into his cell and dragged him out and hanged him in the street. And unbeknownst to us, we'd barely even been in there. Walkie-talkies just click. And it's like, why? Like, we didn't even turn these on yet. And it was,
Same thing that happened to us before we started the mouth investigation.
Yeah, and it was like, that's really weird. And then we got through the whole tour, and they were showing us places. And before we even got told where this guy's cell was that was, drug out of his cell and killed, we ended up like, I want to go in that one. So we just walked in there, and they're like, actually, that's William Etherington? Is that his name? Something like that. And they're like, yeah, this is where that guy got dragged up his cell, and
his story is crazy. He was a 17-year-old that pretended to be a 24-year-old.
Yeah,
he became a U.S. Marshal at 17 years old.
Yep.
And then he got drunk at the bar one night and killed a man.
And they hated him for it.
They hated him for it, so the town drug him out and hung him in the middle of the road.
Yep. And then we were drawn to that, and throughout the night we kept going back and back to that one because we felt like there was energy pulling us to it. But then when they let us do our own investigation, they were like, you guys can hang out with the tour guides and they'll lead you through it and whatnot. And we're like, all right, cool. We want to go do our own shit. We have all this equipment. Like, fuck that. Like, I want to hear it on my own ears. So we went up 3 flights of stairs, and they were still on the basement level. And me and Riley were just walking around, kind of not really fucking off, but we were just like, this is creepy, this is really dark. I'm kind of scared.
It's really dark.
And we were like, all right, no flashlights. I want this to be as genuine as possible if I see anything. And we were turning around to head back downstairs to go down another flight, and all of a sudden you're.
No, that's not what we were doing. We were sitting in the nurse's quarters.
That's right. We were in a different room, and then we heard the door shut, and we walked back out there, and we were like, what the fuck was that? Nobody's on this floor. And then we ended up walking down the hallway 10 minutes before that, and all the doors were shut, against the wall but open. And then we walked back down there after we heard that shit, and one of the doors was cocked open. And they were rusted ass fucking cell doors.
You seriously cannot move these doors. There are 300-400 pounds cast iron jail cell doors that haven't moved in.
Yeah, I fucking yanked on one, and it was nope, this is glued in there. I don't know.
Yeah, they're so heavily rusted in there, you can barely even move it. And it was there's a train station down the way, and there's no way it was a train because no one else heard it in the building.
Yeah, we even ran down there and they were
This
like,
jail's
no.
different because it's open air. Like when you're in it, you're outside basically.
Yeah, they don't really have
Like,
glass windows.
There's no glass or
Yeah.
anything. If you're inside the jail, you're also outside. It's really crazy.
And then what else happened?
Because that's how they air condition the place in the summer, is to just have it open air. And then in the winter, they literally had fire pits, like in each corner of every cell block. And that's how the people kept warm in this jail, is by fire.
Yep.
It's crazy. It's the craziest jail ever.
So would you say like the craziest stuff you've gotten, is it from like interior investigations or like cemeteries and stuff like that?
Capture was at a cemetery.
Yeah, that was
You've seen
literally
that,
a couple
dark
weeks
figure,
ago.
The shadow figure. Like that's by far the scariest thing because it just looks so ominous and evil. Like
We were there for like 3 hours and we were getting a bunch of responses on like EVPs, you know, like just like all the equipment would go off simultaneously with each other. And it's like, all right, this is a little weird, you know, like I'm going to throw up some of it to skepticism, but then other things I was like, I can't explain this. And then we were trip.
I was gonna ask you, sorry to interrupt. What gear do you guys actually have? Because I've seen your videos, you guys have like a shit ton of gear.
Oh, we have like at least like 10 like recorders, and then like
it's all in my car, but
we have a millimeter, an EMF detector,
2 millimeters, EMF detector, night vision camera, GoPro.
Yep.
We really don't ever use.
Yeah, we just use my iPhone
for SD cards, but
Do you use your iPhone to record all the investigations?
Yeah, we use our phone to record all.
Usually.
You need to get an actual camera. It's probably
I know. I'm
working on it. So people buy our merch.
Buy their merch. I'll put it in the bio. Yeah, no, I've only used the spirit box and I only have the spirit box and then the paranormal music box. That's all I have. 2
spirit boxes. We just really started using them more.
We don't really know how to turn it to AM radio.
For a long time, we couldn't figure out how to get it to AM radio, and now we got it figured out. So
which one is it? The spirit box, like what?
Like the SB100 or something like that. I forgot what it is.
It's literally just the S box.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep.
I'm pretty sure that's what I have.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the newer Xbox, not the
Xbox.
I think it's the SB7, and then there's the SB11. It's the one in between those. So it's just the SB.
Yeah, it can record what you do on it and shit like that.
Yeah, it can record everything that you do on it. Unfortunately, it doesn't record the audio in, which sucks. It just records the like that part. Yeah,
that shit's so annoying.
Bro. Like, oh my gosh, I know you understand editing videos, but like you sit there, you're going through like 15, 20 minutes of just. Then the next day, you can't even listen to anything because it's all you can hear is just.
Trust me, I know it sucks going through that shit.
But then
it's like,
holy shit.
Yeah, but then when you get your voices through it, it's like, okay, this is, and you like, I feel like you just feel more connected to the spirit because like now you can actually hear what they're saying back to you, you know? And you kind of know like where the conversation is with the spirit. So you are like, nothing gets confused, and like, unless another spirit jumps in and confuses you, which I find happens a lot at cemeteries.
Yeah, that does. It's like
trying to fight through to get any like way to speak to someone. It seems like
they like to speak over each other and stuff. It's like it's like, what the fuck are you saying? Just one at a time.
Yeah, just take your turn. We got enough time for all of you. You're dead. You'll be here tomorrow.
Mine doesn't record though, like it's just live, like so it's like I play it and I have to record it, like it doesn't actually record. So I think I have the SB7 or something like that.
Yeah, I think we have one of those too.
Yeah, we got.
But that's what do you guys think about the apps, the Spirit Box apps?
Garbage.
I've tried one once before. And I didn't really get much from it. I know the guy like Drew and stuff, they use it, and they've got some weird responses, but it's like, I don't know. I'm not sure about those.
Honestly, I just think it's garbage. It's all novelty.
What's the one that we used at Old Lincoln? Because that one I actually
Phasma box.
Yeah, it wasn't the S box, but it was the Phasma box, which it just plays like the voices that come through, And I had a really, really weird experience with that because it's a paid for app, like, you know, like that, like other bullshit on the phone. But
It's almost like they're trying to make money off it.
yeah, you'd think. And I was sitting there though, and like apparently there was a canal next to the old Lincoln County Jail, and it's not there anymore. And I had no idea. And I was sitting there, and I was getting like weird responses with voices, and then I heard like a foghorn. It was just like, boo. And I was like, I thought these were voices. And like I asked the person, she goes, "Oh, really? There was a canal back in, you know, like the 1800s that used to have like tugboats go through it all the time." I was like, "What the fuck?" Like now I'm less
What?
skeptical of this.
That is
Yeah,
weird.
that's
That
what-
is very odd.
That's probably the only one I think that's like somewhat legitimate.
And it looks
Yeah,
completely fake because the app is like really, really funny looking. Where it's like somebody just drew this on their phone with like iPad and like made it look all crazy, but it works. Like I guess.
We really want to get an SLS camera. That's like the next big piece of like evidence capturing I want, because I want to be able to mark out figures.
A what camera?
SLS.
What is
Like
that?
a good night vision.
So like
Like thermal or like?
that's the one that shows the stick figures, bro.
Oh yeah, like the one they use on Ghost Adventures, where it's like.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about now.
Attached it with the Xbox, like connect shit.
Someone was telling me about this actually, so I think I know what you're talking about. The stick. When you said stick figure, that made sense.
I don't know if you'd be able to see it. On
Probably
there.
not.
Probably not.
Yeah, you're kind of far
Yeah,
away.
it'll like take like full like apparitions and stuff that you can't see, but it'll be like
it'll
it's
map
here.
out a figure for you, so like it can tell the difference between like wavelengths or something. It uses a Xbox Connect sensor.
Okay.
Yeah, like the
Seems-
grid and everything.
Seems weird, but like that device is really good at capturing people, like movement. So that's, and then it's like you literally can just download the software. All you really need is a freaking tablet that runs Windows 10. Download the programs and a freaking Xbox Connect, and you can make one.
I have one in my house. A Connect, I mean.
Yeah.
Just gotta modify it.
You can literally make the most expensive part really is the tablet to run the programming on it. Because
Yeah.
like if you want to buy a made SLS camera, they're like $5,000.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Screw that. I already
It's
dropped
like-
like $500 on the gear I did. It was
Oh
like,
yeah,
holy
that's
shit.
how I was feeling. I was like, I want to get like the night vision GoPros, or like get the cheap ones and like, you know, cross some wires and make it night vision, and then get those like nice like actual UV lights that'll extend like range of the cameras. And I was like, I'm gonna end up dropping like $700 on this bullshit. I don't really got that right now.
Well, so okay, have you guys ever heard of the YouTube channel Sam and Colby?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think they're full of shit?
Sometimes I think they are. I think sometimes they catch some stuff that could be definitely paranormal, but I think a lot of their stuff is staged too.
I even
It's
think
different.
some Ghost Adventure
I think-
stuff is staged.
Yeah, they're a little too dramatic for me. I don't know how much I believe in possession. I really just don't. It just doesn't seem to really. A lot of demonic possession cases also turn out to be schizophrenic people or people that didn't take their meds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much I really believe in like demonic possession, but I do think there are entities out there that have more power than what we definitely could give them credit to. I think they can make you sick.
Yeah, like
or-
the weird feelings are real. Like I've had experiences.
yeah,
like
and
that
I
too.
definitely think spirits can definitely put their emotions onto you, because I definitely felt emotions that weren't myself before.
Yeah.
And our crew member Chase, he's been doing investigations by himself.
He's
Like
nuts.
props to Chase if he watches this, because he is a fucking G. Like
Trooper.
he seriously
Was that the guy
will
that
go-
was at Nunica? Was he at
Yeah,
Nunica?
shorter guy. That's
The blonde
Chase.
guy?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He-
I was wondering if it was
He
him or the other
seriously
one.
went to a cemetery on Friday night by himself and blindfolded himself and did a spirit box session in the middle of a cemetery.
What?
Yeah,
I don't know
he's
if I
nuts.
could do that.
They drained his phone. He ended up being trapped in the
And
middle
his
of the cemetery.
flashlight,
And his
too.
flashlight. Got left in the cemetery, basically in the dark, and basically just left the spirit box on while he tried to get help from them to get out of the cemetery, and they let him out.
What? Did he film this?
No, he couldn't. They drained his phone. It was
His
dead.
phone was dead.
Oh, you know how
Remember
fucking crazy that'd be if you
his
like
phone?
got all of it on film?
Yeah,
That'd have been
he
freaking
tried to
nuts.
film last week at Mouth too. He went by himself to Mouth, and they drained his phone and all of his shit too. So he didn't even get anything. They he has a little wrist recorder. They drained that, drained his phone, drained his flashlight, drained his REM pod, drained everything.
I don't know. He has a lot of balls to go do.
That's what I do.
So I don't know if I could really do that. I would be
Like-
shit myself probably a little bit.
Yeah, other
he's
people
only,
are around
he's only
is good.
19.
Yeah, he's young and
Like, kid's a G. So glad we got him on our team.
it's like if somebody's in the same room, I'll walk in like down the hallway and be like, all right, you guys can stay like 20 feet back and I'll do this. But like completely on my own, like I have no help. If something really goes sideways, like, oh shit. What do I do?
Like when we do the Ghost Hunt USA stuff, during the group investigations, he's always the one that gets pulled. Like,
I was
"Here,
getting isolated.
you be the isolated one." I don't know why.
Just fuck yeah.
And then he always captures something.
Yep.
Does
Like,
he have a
I
YouTube
would-
channel or
Chance?
no? Yeah.
No, he's
No,
just
not
kind of
yet.
grouped with us right now.
Hey, join the night crew.
The Night Crew. Are you guys? So you guys, yeah, you said you're starting that new series, so you're gonna be starting to do more the investigations.
Yeah.
Video
Wanna bring
form
more
or whatever.
people on and do all the vlog stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just really bad at cameras. Yeah. I record feet. Lots of feet.
I mean, like I said, I can help you guys out with whatever you need with like editing and stuff because I've been doing it for a while, so I kind of have
That would be
pretty
awesome.
good knowledge frame of like how to edit videos and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm garbage
So-
at it. I just add a couple of quick cuts and I'm like, all right, cool. Let's run it.
I will say this. I'll give you advice. When you're doing these, what I do, this is personally what I do, and I think I might have told this to Riley, but like when you're doing these, like don't put everything in there. Like if there's like dead space where there's nothing happening, just cut that shit
Yeah.
out. Like most people, when they're watching this, if there's like nothing happening for like 2 or 3, 4 minutes, they're gonna be like, they're just not gonna keep watching it. Like you gotta like the good shit to the good shit to the good shit. You know, it's kind of how you got to do it. That's what at least I think, because I've watched some of these videos and it's like there'll be like 5-6 minutes where like nothing happens. It's like, why is someone gonna want to watch this?
Right.
You know,
You ever watch
or they're gonna just get
TFIL?
bored of it. What?
You ever watch TFIL?
No, what's that?
The bucket list.
Yeah, the bucket list. But they also do a series called Overnight where they stay at haunted stuff. They do a really awesome job. You should check their vlog out.
They're super famous.
They're super famous. Like, inspiring where we'd want to ever be in our lives.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about there's from like a Michigan or something.
They're kind of like
that.
Sam and Colby.
Yeah, Sam and Colby are part of it at one point.
Yeah, they used to make videos together at one point.
Yeah, I've never heard of them
They're
before.
really a lot of the same. Like Sam and Colby and TFIL do a lot of the same style of stuff. Like go spend the night on an island with a prison that used to be that's haunted on it or some crazy shit
Something
like that.
Oh, excuse me.
Well, lucky for them, they make enough money so they get to go to like all these places
Yeah,
around the
they
world.
can spend $1 million on a video and make it
You can
back.
barely afford the gas to go 25 minutes out of town.
Yeah, exactly. It's like bullshit. That's why I went to Nunavut. I was like, okay, we like all pitched in and fucking. The only car we could use at that point was the one dude's car, so we just we all paid him, pitched in gas money, and we took our asses over there. So that's why I would love to do that. Go like hours away in like
Yeah, we
Michigan
gotta
and stuff.
get you out to Mouth before it gets too cold.
I want to go there so
That,
bad.
honestly, is like you want crazy shit to happen for the vlog, it'll happen there for sure.
I don't doubt it. I mean, I've heard it from you guys. Was it Lakeshore Paranormal? Did some videos there. It was pretty crazy. Like I don't doubt it. I've heard a lot of weird stories about that place. So, but yeah, if you want to talk about like, if you guys want to do like a video together, I was trying to see like, I mean, obviously Mouth, but like, but like, where else did you guys want to like go? Shit, where you guys want to go to?
The Bath School bombing location would be cool because
The bath bombs. What?
no, have you never heard of that one?
So
No.
City, there was a school back in the 1800s that was the largest,
1924.
yeah, the largest death at a school because a dude blew up a dynamite in the basement of a schoolhouse and killed 40 some kids.
What?
Yeah, Andrew
Yeah.
Keyhole, I think is his name.
Yep.
Yeah, he's one of the most prolific Michigan killers.
He's also the biggest massacre of children ever in history.
Yep, and that's in Bath, Michigan, I think.
That's
is what
Michigan.
It is.
It's literally, there's a green field with a historic marker on it, and that's all that's left.
There's no
Wait.
building or anything?
Crazy is after he blew the school up, he blew himself up
In his car with dynamite.
with dynamite.
What? This dude is fucking insane. Like, what?
Yeah, that one seems cool. Or Hell's Bridge.
Yeah,
Hell's
that's-
Bridge, I've heard of that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then there was another one too that I was like, I'm really interested. Oh, the Melonhead's place. The mansion.
In
What's it called?
Felt Mansion?
Yeah, Felt Mansion. Yeah, that one.
Saugatuck.
seems pretty cool, too.
That was on my list as well. Because I think you can stay there
I've heard
overnight.
Really, I've seen some crazy videos from there
Mhm.
and heard really good stuff. That it's very, very haunted.
Yeah, because
'Cause,
there's
I mean, that-
not a lot in West Michigan.
That would definitely be a really cool place to go, especially since it's getting cold, to like book it there. Like if like we wanted to do something there, we could like both book like a night there and do it.
We have another paranormal group that would be down to book it with us.
Yep,
too.
make it even cheaper. And then there was another one too here in town. The USS Silversides was a submarine that actually saw duty like in what was it, the Japanese like Pacific Theater,
Mhm.
and they had a bunch of kills and stuff, and they were almost sunk.
It actually has the most kills of any submarine in history.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, like that would be kind of interesting to go because you can actually rent a night out on that submarine. I was like, that'd be kind of cool to chill on a submarine all night and try to get some like.
I feel like it'd be really claustrophobic as well.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
I was like,
That
there's
would
a lot of
definitely be-
history around there. They have museums
yeah.
there, too, so.
I've never heard of that one either. That
Yeah,
sounds
right
pretty
here
insane.
In town in Muskegon, so
In Muskegon, is that where you guys live?
yeah, it's
Yep.
like Pure Marquette areas where the subs dock.
Because you live like what? You live really close to like Nunica, didn't you say? Like 10 minutes or something like that?
Yeah, 15,
If
20
that,
minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah, well, we're where we are right now, yeah. So
Dude,
we're
I'd be
about-
going there. Like I would be going there a lot for investigations if I lived that
Yeah,
close to
even
that
Mouth
place.
for us is like a 40-minute drive, if that, like maybe 25, 30 on a good night. It's like, yeah, we've been
Yeah,
there a
that's
couple
like nothing. The only other one I would say like that if you guys should check out is the one I think I told Riley. Or I don't know who answers your Instagram messages, but
I mean,
okay.
He does all that.
It's just really creepy because I just found this out today. I told you about Posey Chapel, right?
I think I heard that one too.
So get this. This is fucking nuts. So I don't know if Riley told you about like kind of what happened there, but it was like there's a church that was once there and a cemetery. And in the 70s, like some arsonists burnt down the church, and then apparently like the pastor of the church like hung himself in the tree right in front of it, right?
Oh,
So he
shit.
apparently like haunts the grounds and stuff. And then so after the church burnt down, they decided to not make another church, so they put a pavilion up right where it was.
Huh.
So I've done 2 videos there, and this is so creepy. Last night I just did investigation at Primrose Road. I don't know if you ever heard of that in Indiana.
I've heard of that one too.
I went there with Drew and Amy. They're both YouTubers, and we met this cop. Right, he's a
Yep.
cop around actually right by where I'm at, and he was telling me today. I texted him because I got his number and stuff, and he was
Hell
telling me
yeah.
about places I should check out. And he said Posey Chapel, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, no shit. I've been there like 2 times. And he's like, yeah, I just went on a report or something happened, but
Yeah.
just recently, and I didn't even know this, that another pastor just committed suicide at Posey Chapel again.
What the fuck?
Just recently. I don't know how recent, but I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, recent enough to where it's like it's in his fresh memory. It's like, what's that all?
yeah. So that if that's true, then that's which I don't know why he'd be bullshitting that. I mean, he's a cop and everything.
Right,
but
yeah,
that'd be
why
like
would a police officer just bullshit you? Yeah, they know.
so that made like 2 pastors apparently committed suicide there. But
Huh.
literally in the video that I did, we were asking questions, and this was before I had like any gear.
Yeah.
And to the responses or to what I was saying, it responded like right after with like the pavilion like rattling. It's in my video, like it's fucking
That's
nuts.
crazy.
That
Yeah,
place
you
is
told me
like
about that. That's
super fucking eerie. And it's like you could hear a pin drop out there. It's so quiet. It's like out in the country.
Like, no crickets, nothing, just
Yeah, like
silence.
literally just dead silence. It's fucking
Huh.
eerie as fuck. I was telling Riley about that. That'd definitely be a cool, because I've only been there. I've been there 3 times, but I've only done 2 videos there. But that would definitely be a place to do like a collaboration video, because that place is for real.
For sure. That place sounds nuts.
Yeah, that sounds wild. Well, it's like we were talking about the same thing. I was like, if we ever have a cop just roll up on us, I'm gonna walk right up to him and be like, "Can you tell me if you've had any like weird shit happen on a call like here?" Like,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah. That's
I don't give a shit.
Like honestly, I don't think that like what's a cop gonna do? Pulling up into a cemetery and having people like walking around, and what's the difference of being there at night compared to the dead? Like
there's really nothing. It's really stupid, to be honest.
Yeah, if you're not being
Really
destructive, it's like, what's wrong with this? I'm being, I don't know, like publicity maybe for this place. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I really don't know. It's what the hell does that say? I don't know what
Like,
the hell
honestly,
that
if
is.
it
Some
doesn't have a
freaking
gate-
something in the chat.
if it doesn't have a gate, and I can
This
just
one-
drive up in there,
Posey Chapel, though, I go there late at night. They on the pavilion, it does say private property though, so I don't know, which makes no sense because it's a cemetery. So I don't know. I mean,
well, technically it's
they
like
they
you have the person that owns it to call the cops, because like whenever I had anything like that happen, they were like, actually we don't own the rights to this place, so we can't do anything. It's like, oh, okay.
plus what cops
so
is
you
gonna
so you
look
have
like?
gotten in trouble from the cops from like doing investigation.
I did a long time ago at Utica, but we also ran away, so that wasn't the right move because we were all.
They didn't catch you though.
No, I made it through the woods, but they were just like, just leave. And we were like, okay, we're gonna go now.
Yeah. I mean, this time of year too, I feel like Utica promotes like
Yeah.
looking for ghosts there. Like that cemetery promotes it. Like they want you
Like
to
our
come
local
find the
paper
ghosts
has
there.
it in there where it's like, check out these paranormal investigation hotspots. It's like, oh, okay.
It just it starts like this time of year now. It gets like super busy and like
Sorry,
too
it's
many high schoolers go there.
right now.
Yeah. Oh
Oh no, he froze.
no.
Did we freeze?
What's happening?
Sorry, I was like lagging. I don't know if it's your Wi-Fi or mine or what the hell.
Riley does have
Probably.
shit
I
Wi-Fi.
do have
So.
Wi-Fi, so it's probably-
Oh, it's hilarious.
But no, that's fucking crazy. That, like they promote it, like, yeah, please come here, please.
Yeah, like Mouse is
Um,
always on like MLive and shit around here. Where they're like, yeah, this is one of the craziest places. If you ever get a chance to go check it out, it's like, so I should go there late at night.
Well, to me, if it's like that, then it's like as long as you like let law enforcement know, like, hey, I have a paranormal investigation group. We want to do investigation tonight around this time. Just so you know, if you see people in there, that's what we're doing. And they should be like, okay, thanks for letting us know, and we'll drive by to just double check, but we won't fuck with you. Like that to me, that's how it should be. I mean, if you're in there like kicking over headstones and shit, then obviously, yeah, like they're gonna fucking
Yeah, if you're in there
pissed.
being an asshole, then it's like, yeah, go get literally a ticketed, like go to jail. Like,
But why
fuck
would you
that.
go be an asshole at a cemetery? It seems like a terrible place. Why
Oh,
would
yeah.
you do that stuff like
Apparently, a lot of people do that. Like I've been to a bunch of cemeteries already where they said like people fucked up the headstones and it's and like
Mouth is one
throwing
of them.
trash everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just
Well, I
be
mean,
vandalized many times.
it's like so
Why?
overgrown there. It's like
What goes through a person's head? It's like, I'm gonna go spray paint some tombstones.
Let's kick this in half. Strong
some
enough.
stupid ass teenagers. I don't know. They have nothing better to do
Yeah,
but
I
party
feel
out
booed
there.
Up like, yo, this is crazy.
I don't know. I never got that. I really didn't. It's so disrespectful. I mean, there's been times, I'm not gonna lie, I've gone to a cemetery and there'll be a headstone that's like ripped off and it's like sitting there. And I've thought in my head so many times, like, dude, this would be so fucking badass to take this and like hang up on my wall.
Right?
But at the same time, 2 reasons. That's like, 1, okay, I might get haunted as fuck from this, so I'm really scared. And 2, that's just, it's like, that's fucked up. It's so
You
disrespectful.
get pulled
so
over
I
there,
just never
open
done.
the trunk. Why do you have a headstone?
My friend, actually, he's a fucking dumbass. You met him at Nunica, the dude with the fucking eye patch. He does not believe in paranormal shit whatsoever. He actually, I probably shouldn't say this on the live stream. I'll tell you, like, I'll message to you after this. Just in
Because he's
case.
a pirate.
What?
It's because he's a pirate.
No, well, just the thing he did. I just don't want to say over the live stream just for various reasons.
No, it's fine. I would say we can keep that one close to the heart.
But yeah. So like, along with all that we were talking about, if you guys wanted, like, when are you guys planning on doing another investigation video?
We got a wedding this weekend coming up, and then probably after that, we want to get back to it as hard as we can.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm trying to line up. Not if you guys really want to do one. Drew, he's out of town this weekend, so I'm not doing a video with him this weekend. I'm gonna try to do something myself. Yeah. But the next weekend, have you guys ever heard of Galene, Michigan?
I don't think so. Was it east side, middle of the state, north?
It's like, okay, I live in Bridgman, Michigan. So it is like 20 minutes from me. It's a ghost town, basically. You can look it up. There's a paranormal group. They're called like the Ghostbusters, aka Michiana Paranormal Society.
Okay. Yeah.
They are pretty well known around this area. They do a lot of investigations there. Everything's basically abandoned there. Like, it's a ghost town. Like, you can look it up. Look, there's a video they did about it. I went there and did investigation one time. I didn't have access to any of the buildings, but there's a high school there, giant, like 3-story high school. The whole thing is abandoned.
Wow.
There's a 2-person jail cell from like the 1800s. There's the Legion is known to be haunted.
Yep.
Blah 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 blah. Definitely look into it. But Drew from Living History and Comes Alive, which I did the video with collaboration, he is looking to contact them to see if we can get access into the jail cell in the high school. So if he does that, I think we would be doing that not this weekend, but the next weekend. If we do, I think you guys should definitely come to that. So we have like 3 different like groups doing that.
Locked in. I was say I'm about it. I'll make a drive.
I mean, it's probably like 2 hours from here, something like that. I'm guessing you guys live.
That ain't nothing.
But if we can get access into those, like literally the high school alone would just be one episode like that. Like, it is so ginormous. I think it would definitely be worth it. Like, definitely check out. Just look up Galene, Michigan on YouTube, Michiana Paranormal Society. Look at their videos about it, and it's fucking nuts. They've gotten so much shit from just that, like the jail cell and everything. And like I said, I went there, and I got a shadow figure there, and I didn't even go into these places because I didn't have access at the time. I just said, fuck it, let's go there. But we're looking at going there, so I figured I would ask you guys if we can get access into there. I don't want to go there unless I get access into the buildings.
Yeah, just walk around the perimeter of the building 100 times.
Yeah.
Window.
You're literally like, you go there, there's like maybe one car that drives by all night. Like, there's nothing there. And then there's one other thing. Like, when I talked to that cop last night, there's in 3 Oaks, Michigan, which again is like, that's like 10-15 minutes from here.
Yep.
There is, and I didn't even know this. There's this across from the high school or the school there. There's this giant ass old Victorian house, and I thought it was abandoned. And I asked him, I was like, "Hey, do you know about this house?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I think a lady owns that. She's pretty nice. If you knock on her door, she usually lets people like come in there. And apparently, it's a place where Al Capone stayed." I don't know if I can put pictures in here. I wish I could send a picture.
There's a cemetery down by you. I think it might be in South Haven that has a grave that apparently Al Capone is Al Capone's mistress. I forget.
That died there?
They don't
buried
know.
there?
Well, they don't know if it's actually her, but it's a grave that just says Fiona or some Flora or something like
some
that.
Italian name.
But it said that Al Capone used to come and visit her grave there. And like still does in the spirit world as well. Like, people have caught Al Capone there at that cemetery. That would be, if I can find that place out, that would be a cool spot to meet with you.
You don't know what town that's in?
I could look it up really easily. Chase is my coworker, and he's the one that found it, so he probably knows exactly where it is. But it's like it's in South Haven, so it's like halfway between me and you. Like, we'd be able to meet there. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, yeah, that would be definitely cool because that make it a lot
easier.
easier.
But their house is like right next door too. It's kind of
like the Ada Witch one where it's like, dude, this is way too like civilized.
You know what I mean? It isn't gonna give like it's not gonna have that spookiest vibe to it because it's kind of like in a residential area.
Yeah.
But who knows? could be creepy as fuck. I don't know.
Yeah. So what I was saying, the Al Capone shit, I'm definitely down for that.
Right.
But I was saying I'm gonna see this week if I could try to get access into there. Because that I would want to do a video inside. I've been itching to do like an interior investigation. I've never really done one. So I feel like it's a lot creepier though, because it's like you're closed in, kind of like you can't just like run away.
And if it's like with people that you can not like say control, but like not just like random people you've never met before for real, or like have like the same mindset that they do, because we all have the same mindset where it's like, yeah, I'm all about investigating. Like some people just go to like fuck off and be like, this is a cool experience, which it is, but like people will sit there and just like the whole time. It's like, well, like let's just listen for 5 minutes and see if we hear.
Yeah, prime example. So when we were at Eloise Asylum, me, Trevor, and another lady were sitting in the cafeteria area for the asylum, and we were being really quiet, and there was some chat and Karens out in the freaking hallway just being loud as hell, his fiance included.
Yep. Sorry, Jenna.
We were being super quiet, like we were having like the EMF detector go off in the middle of all of us, like on demand. We asked them to make a noise so we could hear it.
Bang!
And then it was like the loudest bang ever happened inside of this room.
Like directly behind where I was sitting on like a piano. And it was like, what the fuck?
And then everyone came in from the hallway and they're like, what happened? What'd you guys do? And we were like, nothing. Like something went bang over there. Obviously you could tell like there's no one standing over there.
Like I damn near jumped out of my chair and I was like, what the fuck was that?
But, like, it's just like when you get a ton of people in an investigation together, and you got people that are not there to do the same thing as you, and that's catch a ghost or have a crazy experience. A lot of people are just like, I'm in an abandoned building all night. Ooh, this is creepy. But they're not really in it to, like, catch a ghost, you know what I mean? Or, like, have something happen.
Yeah.
People that are just talking over all of your evidence. You're asking questions. There's people whispering in the background. So you can't tell, like, what's real, what's fake.
Yeah, when I was watching that or whatever, well, your podcast about that, and then you showed some clips, I was like, God damn, that would be so annoying. The people in the background talking, you're trying to listen to this. So I don't know if I would do one of those if it's like a shit ton of people are in there. I feel like I would just get pissed off.
Well, the funny thing is though, the Lincoln County Jail, one dude the night before us had access by himself, and the next night that we went, there was like 10 people, and we were like, okay.
And they all stayed together, and me and Trevor went off by ourselves. So like, we would communicate. All right, they're gonna be on the bottom floor. We're gonna be at the top.
Up.
You know, because then you can't hear each other.
Yeah.
So it worked out really nice. But at least Asylum, I think there was 100 people.
Yeah, there was at least 100 people, and it was like, okay,
oh my God.
So like, we've had it to where it's like barely anyone, where we were with us and 7 other people, and then the next time we go, we're like, oh, there's gonna be no one. You know, they do small tours, and there's like 100 people.
But that's when we caught the duck going off, and like still caught really weird stuff, and it's like, oh, okay, like it's worth it, but like, can we just do like 5 of us for the same price we paid?
Is that what you have to do? You have to like pay extra to just do it like a smaller group where no one else comes?
So, like, we were looking into doing Bobby Mackey's actually not that long ago, and we could rent it out with like, was it like 12 people or something like that?
$750 for a night.
And like, if you do the math, you know, it's like, it's really not that expensive to get like a group of your friends that are like respectful and want to do the same thing to go do it. But then it's like, you gotta drive to Kentucky and like, and you gotta pay all the money already still. So it's like, it's worth it to save money and do it at one point. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know if I can save that much and find 15 people that want to drive to Kentucky.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always been iffy about doing those places where you have to like pay to get in, and there's like 5 billion people in there. I was like,
I'm like half and half on it, where it's like we've caught some of our best evidence doing that, and then other times it's like, okay, shut the fuck up. Like, I really want to hear something. Like, it's been an hour and we're just sitting here talking. Like, come on.
Yeah. I mean, at least at that though, like you don't have to be paranoid. It's like, oh god, I'm gonna get fucked from like the police or some shit. Because it's like I go in this place half the time.
The backlash to the other side of it.
And you get
it's like, but I guess that's half the fun. It's like it's like riding a roller. I hate riding roller coasters. Hate them. I'm terrified of them. But it's like this is like my kind of like thrill.
Yep.
You know, is doing this stuff. That's where I get.
I'll walk off on my own in the middle of a dark ass cemetery or like a hallway and be like, I got this, guys. But then you're like, hey, go get on this plane, or like go up 10 flights of stairs and look off like the edge, and I'm like, or like give me a shot, I pass out, spiders can't do them, like I don't know.
Ghost, bring it on.
Feel like fuck it, I'll take paranormal.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm the same way. Same freaking way. That's pretty freaking crazy. Is there any other questions you guys like have or whatever?
What got you into all this, Brio?
Me? About the paranormal stuff?
Yeah, like what like sparked your interest in all of it?
Oh man. So I kind of explained this a little bit before to some people, but so I started off. I've been doing videos. I had my old YouTube channel. I've had it since 2009. Right. I made these stupid like Bigfoot videos. Blah blah blah. I literally bought. Okay, this is a fun fact. This was on the news and everything. It was called like the Georgia Bigfoot hoax. I don't know if you ever heard of this, but this dude said he had Bigfoot in his freezer. Yeah. Did you guys hear about that?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And that went on for I forget how many times. I think he did it twice or something.
Yep.
Anyways, so fun fact, I literally bought that exact same costume that he used in that hoax. And I used that costume in these stupid Bigfoot videos back in the day. I was really inspired by the YouTuber Butchie Kid 624. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Yes.
I loved him as a kid.
I haven't heard of that channel in years.
Yeah, he like I don't know I think he still does them.
Bigfoot videos were hilarious.
But I did the stuff like that, basically like found footage, like, oh, there's Sasquatch doing this, blah, blah, blah. I was raised in a religious home, so I wasn't allowed to, like, my parents were like, oh, if you cuss in your videos or anything, you know, we're watching that. We're going to make you take it down. We're going to take your camera away from you, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, I did all that shit. And then, so that's why my channel is called A Non-Sasquatch Production, because it's a joke, because I don't make Bigfoot videos anymore. So I stopped. Anyways, I did those, and then I started getting into short films later in high school, and I took a digital media class. Yep. And I made commercials for companies, blah, blah, blah. Started doing short films. There was a local group in that town I lived in that made horror short films, and they would premiere them in the town. And I was became friends with the guy that did it. So I was inspired by that. So I started making like horror short films. So fast forward, I didn't do videos for like, I don't know how many years after that. And then I started making short films again, blah, blah, blah. And then COVID hit.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, fuck. Okay, so how am I going to make these short films? Because I have friends out of state that come to do these. So it's like, what the fuck am I going to do, like, for content and stuff? Because these people can't, like, come over here if they got COVID and all the weird bullshit. So I was always interested in paranormal. Like, I mean, I used to watch the ghost hunting shows and stuff like that. And then I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, what the fuck can I do? And then I, like, started this. It was called Tommy and Caleb Drink This, me and my friend. If you're on here, shout out to Caleb. What's up? We did this because we all like to drink. So we did like reviews on live stream or Instagram live rather. So we would review a beer and then shoot the shit, kind of like, you know, well, we're kind of shooting the shit, but we're actually talking about like actual shit. And so that went on for like maybe like all summer long, 6-7 months. We would do it like every Friday. And then I was like, oh, okay, so maybe I'll start doing this on my YouTube channel. So we recorded one and it just fucking failed so bad. I didn't like it. So then I don't even remember how, but then I came up with the conclusion about like, okay, what if I start doing like ghost vlogs? So I started doing those. I did 4 episodes last year, and then it kind of died out, and I started doing short films again. And then it wasn't until like the beginning of the summer is when I started doing them again, and then I just like it just hit off. Like I started like really liking to do it, and then I like got invested in the gear, and then that's kind of where I'm at now with it. And then I started meeting, like, I met you guys, and I met Drew and Amy, and I'm just, like, starting to meet. It's, like, a community around here, so it's, like, it's a blast. Like, I don't know. That's kind of what got me into it.
Yeah, like, 3 or 4 years ago, we talked about it all the time. Like, like, exactly how we're doing. Me and him sat down, and we're like, yeah, dude, I had this weird experience, you know, just, why don't we record this?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really ever listen to podcasts or anything, and then he would be like, dude, I listen to this podcast on the left, well, like, you should listen to it. And then I started listening to them a little bit, and I was like, dude, we could totally do a podcast that's like them, but with like our own little twist. Like, we actually go look for ghosts, and like we actually write our own stories now, and like it's just crazy how like when we first started this, we were like, okay, it's only gonna be ghost stories by people, and then we're like,
Nobody wants to be on our podcast.
people get scared because they're like, well, I don't want people to think of me.
These are apparently scary.
And or they just get in front of the microphone and just choke completely and
Yep.
don't know how to tell their story.
Yeah.
And like we're not the best interviewers ever, so like we're like, okay, well, how can we spin this podcast into something else? So we started reading short stories, and then those started doing really well. And we're like, okay, let's just talk about random topics. Those started doing really well. And we're like, okay, like we're starting to establish ourselves as a podcast now. Let's just release whatever we want every week.
Yeah.
It'll be underneath these different like subcategories, and they'll just kind of keep filling the playlist of that. So like when you come to our podcast, you don't just have to listen to ghost stories or whatever. You can go through our catalog and be like, that's the kind of episode I want to listen to today. So
And then like 2 weeks before like they met you, it was like, hey, let's just like start recording this and like go walk around places. And we had talked about it for like a year in advance. And they're like, all right, let's just pull the trigger on it. It's like, well, look what happens. Good things.
yeah.
Was that the first one you did? Was Nunica for like
We
record
did
actually?
Mouth first,
Mouth Cemetery was the first one.
and then we went to
So-
Ada, and then Ada was kind of boring, so we went to Mouth that same night, and then they went to Nunica after that.
On the
like,
same.
oh,
Oh, okay.
So like we only really done it twice, well 3 times for you guys, but it's like really just started. It's like, well,
Yeah.
shit.
I didn't realize you guys
Sometimes
just started doing that.
Yeah,
I didn't
I
know
was saying,
that.
we
We
just
just started
dive
doing-
head first and just say, fuck it, we're gonna do it.
Yeah, we kind of get an idea in our head of what we want to do, and then we're just like, all right, this is the day we're gonna go do it.
Like I have a small amount of background with making short movies and stuff too, because like back in high school we did the same shit. Like my friend like was like the beginning of the end, a zombie movie, and we had like a 35-minute movie. And it was like, this was fun. Why don't I do this more now?
Yeah, no, it's a. I mean, that's what I love to do is videos. And I was thinking about doing like if we went to like a really big place like that Galeen stuff because there's so much about that place. I want to make like almost like a full length like documentary, like a fucking like hour and 20, 30-minute like video about the place, like the history, just like everyone's perspective. Like if we get multiple
Yep.
groups, like they're all perspectives of like what happened there. I think that'd be super dope. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people would like watch that
We
too.
always try
Literally.
to cover some history in our videos a little bit because I mean we're just history buffs to begin with. I feel like you can't even get into paranormal if you're not in love with history. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
yeah,
you constantly have
exactly.
to go back and like research events so that you don't go to a place and not know what to talk about or have at least one spirit in mind that you want to communicate with. Otherwise, you're
Yeah.
just going in blind. Like that's not as fun. I want to know about what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I don't want to.
That's what I do. I mean, before I go to any of these places, I always do research. Like, what's the known spirit here? What happened here?
Yeah.
What's the fucking deal about this place? I don't just go there and be like, oh, well, I'm gonna show. This says it's haunted. I just show up for no reason.
Yeah,
It's like
when
you
we
gotta
went to
read
Nunica
into it.
before, right before we ran into you guys. Like we had talked to that Emily spirit for like 15 minutes. We talked to the spirit that seemed like smoking his cigar. Talked to him for like 15 minutes, and like they were giving us like direct responses. Like we'd be like, I was joking about I'm a funny guy or something, and it, literally he said bullshit. Like that came through his spirit box. Like they can't even say that on the radio.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I've gotten swear words too, and it's like, what?
Like, there's no way you could be catching that from radio interference. Like that's
And it's
crazy.
known. I'm pretty sure that the dude that smokes a cigar there is known to be kind of an asshole.
Yep.
I'm
yeah,
pretty
he
sure.
was being an asshole for sure too. I mean, he said I wasn't funny, which I'm hilarious. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
no.
Or like we get the same responses over and over again, where it's like they don't just like repeat shit on the radio for real. Like
Yeah,
they
you-
teach you not to do that.
Yeah, you say, should we leave here? And it's like run,
Then 5 seconds later, run.
run by a different voice. Do you get
Yeah,
that? Do you ever have that happen too, where like a male's voice will come through and it'll say one thing, and then a female's voice will come through
Yep,
and say the same
yeah.
thing?
Yeah, it's like, what are the fucking odds of that? Like,
Yeah. How is that going to happen on the radio? It's not.
at that
That's-
very second of time, I don't know.
Or like even the millimeter and stuff like that. Like the EMF will go off to the red, and it's like that's a lot of electric like field, like what do you want to call it? Like fucking with it. And then the millimeter will hit like 300 milligauss. It's like that's more than a microwave. Like we're in the middle of the woods. Like what the fuck is going on?
That's the craziest thing about mouth, dude, is the EMF readings there. And literally, like I can never get my EMF to go off anywhere.
Yep.
Anywhere. I can walk through my house and it'll never go off. I go to mouth, as soon as you walk to that freaking stump, the thing just starts going crazy. Like red line.
I've never used an EMF detector before, ever.
Oh,
I don't own one. I've seen one. Drew had one.
It's crazy.
They're so sensitive. And then when you get the millimeter and the EMF doing the same exact thing, just the millimeter, you can see it as like a number digital display. And then the EMF, you see it like light up from red to green. And like combining the evidence, like just makes it that more.
Are those relatively cheap too? I think the EMF detector is only like $20-$30.
Yeah,
$40
is pretty cheap.
$40 for a K2 meter,
and then
the millimeter is like $80.
Yeah, so it's a little more pricey, but it's still worth it.
Definitely worth it. EMF detector is by far the most crucial piece of evidence that.
Well, it's like we would ask questions too, and it would just be like nothing would be going off, and all of a sudden it would hit the red, and it's like, "Are you a mean guy?" And it would just be like red line. It's like, okay, we're sitting on a stump. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, like there's no way this stump should be.
Like what? They have power lines under the ground, like under the whole cemetery. Like I don't know. Like that'd be fucking crazy.
I gotta take a piss real bad, so I guess you guys can talk about whatever you want on here for a second. Take over the floor for like 2 minutes. All right, I'll be right back.
All right, buddy.
All right. Well, let's see if there's anything in the chat.
That's a good idea.
Someone retracted a message.
Oh.
Rotational times vortex. Calling you out.
I'm calling you out.
See Thomas Brennan. See you later. LOL.
He just says see ya. You added the later.
I added the later. But again, we are What Goes Bump for the Night.
Thank you everybody for tuning in.
We have a podcast. You can check us out on YouTube. You can check us out on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, iTunes, Podbean. We're pretty much everywhere that you listen to stuff or watch things.
Yeah, and if you want to know some more of our like background experiences, where it's like other like stories that we have too that we haven't touched on tonight, they're also in our podcast in the first couple episodes. So.
The first episode we literally go through.
It's just mine and his stories.
Personal experience that we could think of, and we have a good time with all of our episodes.
Aliens too. Aliens are a big thing for me.
Yeah, we love talking about aliens. We love talking about zombies.
I really want to see another UFO. Like, the UFO story that we have is fucking crazy.
Yeah, UFOs are fun. I really haven't seen one in years and years, but...
I really hope they hit this parlay, though. I really gotta check this for a second.
You guys do UFO stuff?
Yeah, me and him both have had weird experiences. Like, one day, we were at his parents' house on their patio out back, and you would think a helicopter had stopped over us, but there was no rudder wash. Like, you didn't hear, like... And then all of a sudden, the spotlight just came down, and it was just right over top of me. So I was the only thing being illuminated. And we're just sitting out there, smoking weed, just chilling. And then all of a sudden, like, the next couple weeks after that, there was somebody with us, like a girl that was with us. Neither of us remember who it was.
We still don't remember her name.
I don't even remember what she looks like anymore. But it was like, even like that week after that, we were like, oh, like, who the fuck was with us? Like, it's like almost like we had blanked on it. And it's like, you don't usually just like forget like weird experiences like that. But it was almost like there was a black on my memory. Like, that was really weird.
That is freaking nuts. I mean, I've seen some weird shit in the sky, and everyone thinks I'm an idiot, but I've seen some crazy stuff in the sky.
Yep.
But it's like, how do you go out and like investigate that though? Like, what are you supposed to do?
That's
just
what we were saying too.
Point the camera at the fucking sky and hope that something happens. Like, I don't know how. I've always loved alien shit, UFOs and
sky.
What?
Well, it's like you get like so much light pollution most places too, where it's just like I'd rather go to like a dark park and set up a tent and just like chill. But even then, it's like, how do you catch it on camera unless you're literally like, got this?
And even then, it's gonna be like the shittiest quality.
Right,
Exactly.
yeah. A phone camera is never going to capture a good image of a UFO unless you're like walking into it and did like a tour of the insides.
Yep. Well, and then not only that too, like I was with my parents on the highway, like pretty close to Muskegon too, and we were just like driving along, and we just like looked, and cars were starting to pull off the side of the highway and just parking, and we were like, what the fuck is going on? And we looked, and there was like a cigar with circles in the cigar that were like illuminated really bright, and it was the middle of like the afternoon, so I was like, huh, like that's weird. So we pulled off into the same thing, and then it was just like there, not there. I was like, I don't know, like
I don't know, man.
but that's a little suspect,
Little sus.
just a little.
Yeah, I don't know. I've definitely seen some weird shit in the sky. But once again, it's like I've never really got. I mean, I've watched documentaries and stuff. I used to watch stuff about UFOs and stuff. But it's like, as far as investigating it, it's like I don't fucking know how to do that shit.
Definitely with a GoPro, like maybe that'll work out better. Like I don't know.
I mean, you could go to like Nevada or something and like sit up on like a freaking mountain and like just wait there all day. I don't know, or at night.
Star Ranch, like if you ever heard of that place, like they had a bunch. Like apparently, a dude killed an alien with a sword, like a katana, and then they tested the blood that was on the katana, and it was like we couldn't figure out what it is. It's like what?
What? What?
What? Like, can we run that back a few times? 'Cause I don't know.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was a crazy story though, and it's like I wouldn't mind like like talking to some people that have these abduction stories because it's like everybody's is different, so you never know.
Right. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something else. Do you guys ever like do like? I think I put this as where it's not made for kids, but
Yeah.
Do you guys ever do any like drugs or like drink when you do these investigations?
We used to be per big into psychedelics for a while, but we never did like investigations on psychedelics. But it's like I
Holy
believe
fuck,
that there's another dimension that we just don't see until we alter our brains, like our brain wavelengths or something like that. That it's just like it's right here, but we just don't see it. Like DMT, I don't want to like advocate for DMT, but it's just like it's like a molecule your brain already releases out, and like like closer to when you're dying. So it's like, what if like when you go on these like crazy euphoric like DMT trips, like you're seeing the other realm that you don't know is there.
And there's no way to test that if you're not. It's just all hearsay.
Yeah.
Whatever,
or like,
what
is the soul? Like, is it an energy? Is it like?
So
it's hard to even say.
I think after we die,
I was just about to ask this. Like, what do you guys think? Talking about paranormal shit, we will all do that. What do you guys think about the afterlife? Like, what?
I think as we live, we leave an imprint of energy across time, right? Everywhere we go, we leave energy. Like, when we die, our energy has to go somewhere. It probably just stays here, right? It probably doesn't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It probably just stays here, and I think once that happens, we're just kind of trapped in time. I don't think there's heaven or hell. I don't think there's a gold fucking gate that you go into and you live ever happy ever after. I think our energy is trapped here, and it just does what it does. Maybe if you have the right life, you're allowed to ascend to something even greater, but really, like, we all have stood here and talked to spirits who have no idea they're dead, or if they do, they take advantage of it to the full capabilities. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
they know how to communicate with people. They know how powerful they can potentially be. Like, I don't know. I feel like
it's so hard to explain.
It's so hard to explain, but in my head it makes sense. I guess
like my rendition of it is like I was saying, like there's just like something next to us that we can't see. So it's like if we die, like if our soul is energy, like what if it's just a transference into that other like plane of like reality that we just as like humans that are still alive in flesh bodies just don't see it. So like like reincarnation might be a thing, but like you can also disprove that with a lot of like people like lying about it. But then there are some really weird cases where it's like, no,
Like
I
the
was
kids,
stabbed right here. Yeah.
Little kids that say that they're someone else. You ever read about that?
The what?
There's little kids coming forward now that are saying that their past life was someone that was in the Twin Towers.
Or like specific
Wow.
things. It's like you could also learn that just through happenstance. But like what happens if like your body like dies and your soul leaves your body, and you can pass off your like energy and like information through that, where it's like it's more of like an energy thing than it really is like heaven or hell, like how he was saying. Where it's like I do believe there was a higher power that jump started all this shit, but it's like, all right, fuck it, I'm done.
Aliens started us all.
Yeah, aliens. Just blame it on the aliens.
It would explain
Yeah,
a lot.
This got like really deep.
It always does.
But I mean, okay. I think if you believe in paranormal shit, ghosts, spirits, whatever, you have to believe that there's something after death. Because I don't feel like any of this would exist if nothing happens after you die. Like to me,
you don't
that's
get
what
to
I
a black
think.
tunnel and nothing.
Yeah, because what it was just. I don't know. I feel like you have to believe something after death.
If we just
If
went
you
to
do
heaven
this
or
shit.
hell, then why are there spirits trapped in a cemetery asking for help
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Straight up.
and telling me to run because there's something bad here? Like, what is that? You know what I mean? Like, why are people capturing figures of a giant shadow figure roaming around the cemetery at night? Like, what's that? You know,
And that's the thing, like people like watching these videos, it's like I feel like some of these people, they're like, oh dude, that's bullshit. It's like I think people have this mind frame where they're like, oh yeah, you go in these cemeteries and you just see like apparitions like dancing around, like you actually see like a shape of someone dancing around or doing
you
whatever.
might
It's
see
like
a little light.
yeah, but that's not in this case. That's not literally how it is though. It's like there's so much more to that. It's I don't know. I don't think people understand. I mean, no one really knows, honestly. Like no one's ever gonna prove like, hey, this for a fact that ghosts are real. Like it's no one can prove that.
No matter what, you could literally capture a 4K fucking video of a ghost and people are gonna tear it apart. No, there's no way.
Photoshop.
That's Photoshop. Like,
Yeah.
That's some really good CSI or CGI or whatever it is. Like it's just gotten to that point where technology is so powerful.
It's lens flare.
Our brains don't know how to perceive what we're actually seeing sometimes because we're so conditioned by Hollywood to like think that this is what a ghost is supposed to look like, or this is what an alien's supposed to look like, or this is what Godzilla is supposed to look like. If we were to actually see it in person, it probably wouldn't look anything like that. Our minds would probably go crazy and panic.
Yeah. So
because I've seen an apparition with my own eyes, and it's not what you think it would look like. It's more clear. It's like looking at a person, but you can see everything behind them. They're like completely transparent.
Real definition.
There's no definition to anything. It's like the most basic layer of a human. And I like, why do spirits have clothes on? We bury people in their favorite clothing.
Right.
So you're going to be. Everyone has their favorite outfit, right? That you wear when you feel confident, and whatever. Like that's what people are gonna bury you in. It's probably the last memory. Most people's memories of you are gonna be in those clothes. So of course your energy is gonna carry clothes into the afterlife because nobody walks around fucking naked. Like it's just.
Fun fact:
for centuries and centuries.
If you didn't know you may not have never seen it, but you've heard of it. The original Dracula from 1931, Bela Lugosi, who played Dracula. Fun fact, I don't know if you didn't know, when he died and he was buried, he asked to be buried in the Dracula outfit, and they did it. So I think it'd be hilarious if someone saw an apparition of him and he's like in the Dracula outfit, just like standing there in the corner. It's like, but yeah, like stuff like that. I think Bela Lugosi's ghost is running around with the cape on. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, no one's gonna prove this. I mean, people can believe what they want, but if it's just something you have to like be into and have like an
You gotta
open mind frame
experience
about.
it, really. Yeah, I think you just have to experience it.
Like my
actually,
friend, the dude with the eye patch, he fucking thinks it's bullshit. Like he'll come with, he thinks like it's fun to do, but like he'll go there and be like, oh, you think like the voices out of the spirit box? He's like, dude, there's just random bullshit. It doesn't mean anything. And it's like I want to see like a fucking like stick thrown across the fucking cemetery or some shit like that.
That's
And it's
so
like, well,
rare.
dude, yeah, it's like, dude, I've never seen that.
Happen.
I've never seen like a book thrown across the room or a chair move or anything like that. But it's like
I did one time, and that freaked me the fuck out.
I've seen inanimate objects move by themselves. It's a lot more terrifying than you think it is.
Yeah, and it happens at the most random times too. Like you'll just be like, I'm at somebody else's house, just chilling. And there'll be like a screwdriver on top of a fridge, which is what happened to me. And it just goes flying, and it's like, oh,
Matrix is broken.
Yeah, the simulation just glitched.
I think I would shit myself if I saw that, honestly.
Oh yeah, I was like,
that.
hey, can we like go outside? Like, I'm feeling a little.
Yeah, I've talked about it on the podcast many times, but I had a bracelet, like a Live Strong bracelet back when those were cool. And like I had my finger on it on one end, and it literally moved from forward from underneath my finger, and it like stretched. And you would see someone else put their finger, it was basically on the other side, and stretched it away from my finger to where it like pulled away from my finger.
What
And
the
it's
fuck?
like, it's super rare to have that shit happen.
Like
too.
how it's
Super
not
rare.
even possible for it to do that. I'm touching it, and for it to literally stretch and move away from me, like
Right. Got it.
that's literally physically
Fucking
impossible.
lagging.
Physics says
Yeah,
that
shit.
did not happen, and it did.
Robot.
Oh god. Your internet just blows, Riley.
Like, whoa. Yeah, my screen looks like we're doing great. Looks like him.
No, I'd say it's definitely Frontier internet.
It's got to be your internet because I live up above. I live in a house, but I live up above on the top part. The dude down below, he's a school teacher, so he has like high speed internet.
Oh,
like it's
stupid
like
nice fucking everything.
yeah, superb. So like my Wi-Fi is like real nice. So I didn't think it was mine.
Definitely mine, man.
Yeah, we got like the $20 cheap internet.
I was gonna say that the only thing weird I've never seen something like move or anything like that. But I'm gonna get into something along the side. What I'm saying is what I was gonna ask you guys what you thought about it. But so this was recently. I was here by myself, and in my shower, I was sitting out here. I don't know what the fuck I was doing, and I heard something drop in the shower.
Yeah.
And so I went in there, and I was like, okay, whatever. The shampoo fell over. I was like, all right, whatever. It might have just fell over for no reason.
Yeah.
So I put it back up on there, and I would say I came back in here, and 20 minutes later, it fell down again. And I was like, okay, that's a little odd now. It might have, I don't know if where it was sitting, it just kind of like was on an edge, and it just dunk. But
still,
that was probably
the flat surface, like weird.
Yeah. But what I was getting to that is this shit didn't start happening. I started hearing weird noises in here where I live, but none of this started happening until after I started doing these vlogs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, I was going to ask you, what do you guys think about when you go to these places? Do you think these spirits that you talk to attach themselves to you? Because before you answer this, literally, I'll give like a spoiler alert from the video I just did. So last week at the one at St. Joseph Cemetery, we were talking to the spirit of Thomas, which I was telling you about, which was the little kid.
Yep.
We just went to Primrose Road, and I was like, is there any spirits out here? And we got the name Thomas again. And then Maya was like, they're like, did you follow us from St. Joseph Cemetery? And it said yes.
Weird.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, do you think spirits, like, when you're trying to like
real funny story about that actually. So
go ahead.
We went to, so actually too, we went to Old Lincoln. I walked in front of one of the jail cells, and it felt way different, and it was really dark compared to all the other ones. You know, I looked in there, I felt like all the hairs on my body stand up, and then on the way home, we were driving, and Riley was driving, and I was sleeping on the in the window, and I woke up to like it was the most vivid dream I've ever had in my life, where I was standing in front of that jail cell, and I had a black mist just rush me, and I woke up right when it hit me. And then even more weird when we went to Eloise, like granted we didn't have the best diet that night, but I got back after we had all this bullshit happen, all kinds of crazy shit. I laid in the tub that they would do like ice baths and like like pretty much try to
People
like,
died in that tub.
yeah, like two
Yeah,
people died from them.
I saw
drowning.
that in your podcast. Yeah, I know what you're kind of
Yeah,
talking about
so
now.
we got home and I just was like all happy, cheery, like, all right, I'm getting ready for bed. Walked in the bathroom, projectile vomited for like 3-4 straight minutes. And I was like, what the fuck? I felt fine. To this day, I felt fine right after that too. And I was like, what the fuck?
A couple days after I seen you at Nunica, I had some weird stuff happen at my house. I was sitting out here in my living room, and I decided I needed to go to the bathroom, so I headed into the bathroom. And I walked in, and I just kind of like looked into the mirror for a second, and as I did, my shower door started rattling by itself.
Oh yeah,
What?
and I have a rocking chair for my daughter. That's it's like a 2-year-old size rocking chair. And we were sitting there, like a couple nights after that, like watching her monitor, and the fucking thing just started rocking on its own. No wind was in the room, like none of the air was on or nothing. And I was like, all right, we got to get some like sage or something because I don't want it to like fuck with my daughter.
I got some sage right now.
It's honestly like a good hindrance for like evil spirits because to this day I don't know why I was vomiting.
Have you guys ever used sage?
I don't know how to use it. I know people just light it on fire and walk around.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to cleanse myself if I tried.
Yeah, my fiance Jenna had her friend
I'd
like
probably
make up
do
a
this
box
to
of
play
stuff.
with myself.
Yeah,
I'm like tweaking right now. Where the hell did I just put that?
because it go.
I don't even know. Fuck it, I guess.
Well,
1 second.
when-
I'm gonna see if I can get this over here. Oh, there it is. Okay, we're good. Sorry, I'm just a fucking nicotine addict, so I have to figure. I don't know where my cigarettes went, but anyways, what the fuck was I gonna say? There was something else I was gonna say. It was a really good question too. I don't know what the fuck I was gonna say. Oh, so I don't know about you. This is kind of how I feel, but like when you guys do these investigations, and you go, well, I guess you guys just start actually going there and recording them, but I'm sure you guys did it before without like recording or anything, right?
Yeah.
So when you guys do these and you come back home, or do you like have troubles like sleeping and like you feel like bored that night or like a couple nights after?
Oh yeah, I never sleep.
Yeah. Like,
Okay, so I'm not the only one.
The last time we went to Mouth, I couldn't get the image of the front of the freaking cemetery out of my mind. Like after we caught that figure, but before that, like my brain, just the image of looking into the cemetery was like burned in my mind, and like the image of seeing like spirits move in the cemetery. That's all my brain would see when I was trying to sleep. It was so weird.
I just had too
Yeah,
much
like,
energy, dude.
like I would try to like create a dream in my head to like try to fall asleep, and like all my brain could put together was the front of the cemetery with ghosts moving all over inside of it. And I was like, no, I can't sleep to this. And then I just started working on the video for the rest of the night. So I was like, oh, well, it looks like I'm not sleeping, so I'll just stay up.
Yeah, usually like 5-6 a.m. is like after the fact. When we leave there at like 2 in the morning, it's like I'm not ready to go to sleep. Like I'm way too jazzed up from all this.
It's like
Yeah,
you feel different. It's like euphoric after you do an
yeah.
investigation. I don't know if you get that way too, but like you just feel different. It's weird.
No,
You feel like
okay,
you,
so
like, accomplished something great for humans. I don't know.
I went into
don't know, it
this
just seems
not
so-
really like thinking about it into it so much. Like I went into it was like, okay, this is fun. Fuck it, This is a thrill. This is creepy. But I will say this to anyone who's watching right now, or is going to watch this or whatever. If you want to do this type of shit, definitely do research into it, and just there's a lot more than just going and doing it. Like you have to be like mentally prepared and stuff, and like there is consequences to doing this shit. Like it's nothing to really fuck around with too much, because like I said, I've dealt with some shit after this, and it's like giving me like anxiety and like paranoia and stuff like that. And I shout out to my good friend Nate. He was in one of my videos, and his girlfriend. I reached out to them, and she does a lot of stuff like with like tarot cards and stuff like readings and stuff like that. And she gave me, they're really sweet. She wrote me like a little letter and sent me all this like protection stuff. Like I got like a necklace now, a rock, and this little jar full of stuff. It's supposed to keep like the bad energies out. And see, like, I went in this like, oh yeah, this is fun, you know, I'm fucking doing this. And then it's like, I started like hit me. It's like, okay, this is kind of getting weird. Like, it's like, you can't just go into it just to do it. Like, you have to like know what you're doing. You have to have protection because there is some weird shit that happens with that. So again, to anyone who's watching this or will watch it, I'm just saying, definitely be careful what you do. And I definitely say, do not fuck with Ouija boards. I've never done one, but I've heard from like many people, they told me, do not fuck with the Ouija board because that shit will get real quick. Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure I still have a spirit that is haunting me to this day because of a Ouija board me and my sister used when we were little. Like I know he's still around.
Is it okay? So like I've seen, once again, I've never used a Ouija board, but I feel like some of it is like bullshit. Like when people are like, they're like moving it around, and it's like they're just moving around.
You do it right, bro. It's fucking crazy. Like I literally have seen the freaking Oculus move on its own with nobody touching it.
Really?
Like,
and it's like and it's just like a board that you get from like fucking Toys R Us. Like it's just like what? It's like a kid's toy.
$25.
Yeah, exactly.
Toy.
And a portal opens to like another realm of demons. And it's like, okay, like
how is this a kid's toy? Like what?
That's the spirit of Zozo or whatever it is. Zozo.
But what is it about it that makes it so like insane?
I think it's tied to occult stuff usually.
I think like for spirits, it's something easy to move. You know, you have all this people focusing their energy on this, making this thing move, and they just gotta like push it. Use your hands and just push it along.
Yeah. Well, it's like
when they're moving around,
like a ritual.
When you're moving it around, it just like moves it itself. Like, is that what it's supposed to do?
You're barely touching it, so like you'd be like just barely putting your finger on it, and everyone's on like a corner, and then it literally just starts moving.
As soon as it started doing that, I'd be like, I would be freaked out. Like, I'd be like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, like everyone should just have one finger on it, and you should be like this.
Like the littlest amount of pressure, too.
Littlest amount of pressure. So that literally, it moves on its own. It's crazy.
Well, it's like you can see people's forearms flex when they're trying to, like, push it. So it's like, all right, you're bullshitting me, like, quit it. But,
yeah,
I don't know. Like, I'm, like, half and half on it, too, where it's like, it could be really easy to fake it, but... Like, at the same time, like, if everybody's, like, looking at each other, like, scared as shitless, like, dude, I'm not doing that. That is, like,
there's just something really sketchy about Ouija boards, man.
Because I've thought about bringing it into the episodes, and I've gotten a lot of responses from people that tell me, like, don't do it. Please don't do it. And...
Have you ever heard of a Divic box?
No, what is that? Wait.
So, it's...
Go ahead.
So, they're these, like, not entities, but like they're objects that are like have been ritualized to like hold spirits or something in them, or like demonic, like, you know, like demonic things, and you can literally like buy them, and then if you open it, like you open the gateway for them to come back into reality. And like some people, like, I think it's kind of fake because they want money. But then other people have said, you know, like, I bought a Divic box off eBay from somebody who...
My mom died two weeks later.
And then I had shit opening, like, cabinets open every day, and, like, just weird shit. Like,
and
clocks
terrible things happen to them in their life. And, like...
Wait, it's a box that you get, and you open it, and then it...
Yeah, and it's either, like, a box that's been sealed with, like, a ritualistic, like, you know, like, ceremony.
Usually sealed with wax.
Yeah, and then inside the box is an object that is said to be, like, possessed by something. And it's like, I don't know if I completely believe it, but then some people have, like, actual, like, video evidence of, like, shit popping off after it opens.
The damn Wi-Fi again.
Zach Bagans has, like, the most haunted one in the world.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I've seen, like, I don't know if it's that, but I've seen people, like, get, like, a box that they get in, like, online or eBay or whatever. It says there's, like, a demonic presence in this box, and they open it, and then weird shit.
Yep.
I feel like some of it's bullshit. They just fake it, but, like, I don't know. I know I wouldn't buy that shit. Hell no.
Depends.
Like, no, I wouldn't deal with that.
No, if you
I
get
wouldn't
like an
fuck with that.
1850 like coin or something that's like, hey, like there was a like
Action.
an occult ritual that is tied to this, or they used it in like a Satan summoning ritual, and it's like they spilled their own blood on it. It's like, okay, you know, like, do you want $50, or are you really just trying to get rid of it? Like, I don't know.
What goes
Yeah,
wrong?
yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that
I don't
one
know.
really tripped me up.
I don't think I would.
I don't want to do it though. Like,
Do you want to do it?
Like, I do and I don't, because it's like,
You can do that one yourself.
yeah, but it's like, if it's bullshit, I want to know. But if it's not bullshit, like,
That's gonna suck.
oh fuck, like, what did I just do?
I think you should do that and then do a live stream when you're opening it and see if anything happens.
I mean,
If you-
I would be all about that, but I know you wouldn't. Like, Riley's probably like, you're not doing it in my house. It's like, I don't know if I should do it in my house because I got a child that's probably gonna be like, there's dead people. 'Cause she already said shit like that. It's like, all right, you're creeping me out. Like, don't do that.
You guys both have kids?
I have a kid. He's a single man. So
How old are you guys? Anyway, I was wondering how old you guys were.
I'm 27 this year.
I turned 29 in 2 days.
Oh shit, okay, we're
Yeah,
around the same. I'm 26. So I figured we're around the same age.
Yeah, I say we're the same age. I say, when were you
Yeah.
born? I was born in January.
Do what?
I say, when were you born? Because it's like my birthday.
I was born in July.
Okay, makes sense.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
so we
I
were
just
pretty
turned
old.
26 in July. But 29, God, you're almost 30. That's I'm not looking forward to being 30.
Nope. I say, I'm over that crest now too, and it's like, fuck. I'm at 30 coming. I don't like this. But it's like,
But
the
no-
older I've gotten, the more fun it's been to be able to go out and do this kind of thing. Because it's like, now I appreciate knowledge more. I appreciate finding out things like this a lot more. And it's like, you know, like the lead up to the investigations are great. But it's like, when I was 20 years old, I was like, booze, bars. Yep.
What the hell was I gonna say? It's funny. Well, I was gonna say. I know. I was gonna say now. It's funny when I don't know. It might just be me, but I've noticed like all these people, at least like the local stuff around like the Michigan like paranormal groups and stuff that do YouTube channels and stuff. It seems like, and no offense to anyone that's watching this, but it seems like a lot of these people are all older people. Like, why?
Yeah.
It's never people like. That's why when I met you guys, I was like, shit. It's like people like my age. It's like, why is it that it's like older people that usually do these videos? I always wondered that.
Yeah, pretty much everyone that we've met through the paranormal world has been a lot older than us.
Yeah, like at least 35 to 40s. And so I honestly think there's,
35
like,
is not a lot older.
No,
I'm
I'm not
6
saying
years
older than
me,
you,
bro.
but it's like, I think people have, like, nowadays are more skeptical of things. Like, our generation has been brought up with, you know, more electronics, you know, more of the gadgets and shit that's like, well, you could fake that with Photoshop really easy. Like, oh, I doctored up all my pictures.
I just don't want people to lose faith in like proving that there's life after death. Like, it's one of the oldest questions in mankind is there something that happens to us after we die? And there's literally, we've been telling stories around campfires that are ghost related for centuries. There's got to be a reason why.
Right,
There's gotta
right.
be a reason why all these places that are built in the 1800s have stories of one spirit that roams there for so long. Like, why is that?
Yeah.
Why do we keep telling that same story over and over and over again? Well,
Exactly.
because it's real and there's actually something going on there. And that person who died in 1886, well, they're still freaking walking around that building like you are. It's just you might not be able to see them all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I just don't want people to ever, like, just let paranormal die. I know, like, Ghost Adventures has been on TV forever. But,
Like,
like,
20 plus seasons.
like, why can't there be more shows about it? Why do we gotta monopolize it, you know? Like, there's so many other people out there that do...
Dude, that's what I was saying, dude. Like, I was gonna tell you guys, dude. We need to like just bring back like the paranormal scene around this area. Like, we need to get like all these groups together and just have like an event or some shit, or I don't know, just bring it back.
That'd be
Like
fun.
what's the word I'm looking for? Like you know what I'm saying? What's that fucking word?
Not like a festival, but like, oh
Convention?
god damn it, yeah, a convention. That would be fun.
Well, a convention, yeah. But I'm saying the word I was looking for is like where you're bringing shit back together. It's someone in the comments, something. I don't
Yeah,
fucking
my
know.
brain is blank.
Well, I don't know the word. I can't think of it right now. But yeah, I want to bring. Like, I'm new to the scene. You guys been doing this podcast for a while, but it's like I just want to get this like going. I want to like connect all these people to connect together and like support each other and stuff like that. I'm 5 minutes from Violet Cemetery,
there's
Goshen,
more
Indiana.
people in our generation that like
I've heard of that one.
Paranormal, but like they may be hesitant and like to admit it. You know what I mean?
People don't want to be like pariahs of the town. We're like, oh, you're crazy because you believe in ghosts. Like, I don't give a shit what people think.
I
Yeah,
don't
no.
care what people think. If anything, more people have talked to me about ghosts now than they ever did before. Because they know how open I am talking about it now because of the podcast, for sure. But like,
Yeah.
there's people that have contacted me that I had no idea would have ever even thought ghosts are real.
Same.
Like, I'll get a message from them, and they'll be like, so I think my house is haunted, this and this and this is going on, what do you think? And I'm like, you're the last person I would have ever thought would have messaged me about a ghost.
Yep. Right there.
Yeah. So I guess like what? Okay.
Cool.
Did anyone
I'm
watch
cool.
this? I'll probably once again, right? Not once again, but I'll probably stop this live stream around. We're at like an hour and 45 minutes. I'll probably like cut it off at like 2 hours, but so we got like 15 minutes left. I don't know what you guys got to do, but I was gonna ask. So like, why do you guys keep doing these paranormal podcasts or videos? Like, why is it that you do it? I guess for people to understand.
It's a rush. It's exciting. It's not just for content. It is a little bit.
It's like to bring light to something that people don't get like very much access to usually is how I feel about it too. Where it's like if I can catch something that nobody else has caught before and I can be the person that blows the doors open where it's like, hey, this is really fucking happening. Like,
yeah, I guess
all the skeptics
kind of just taking like our like small town name and like giving paranormal validation through just being normal guys and going out and just being able to capture ghosts and going, they're real. Look, there's nothing fucking Hollywood about us at all.
Nope.
We're about as real as it gets. We're just normal dudes, and we go to a cemetery and crazy shit happens. And like, you could go do it too. Like, it's not going to kill you. If you end up dead because of it,
I'm sorry.
I never meant that to happen. And there's no way I could have ever predicted that. But like, I don't want people to be scared of the things that they can't see either. So like, us being brave in a sense, I don't really think we're all that brave. We're more stupid than brave. But like, being brave and going out and doing these things that people are scared of to do in the dark by themselves, and just showing them that like, it's really not that scary. Like, it's exactly what you do see on TV. It's just they add
step out of your comfort zone.
They add some dramatic music. And have you watched it at home in the dark? And you might be watching us on your phone, where it's a little less
scary, creepy.
Yeah. Right. I mean,
yeah.
I hope our videos are scaring you.
It's like I trip over every tombstone and like like always say something stupid.
Yeah, it's like once again, it's like a lot of people like riding roller coasters or rides and shit like that. And it's like I'm terrified of that. I hate planes. Even worse. I'd rather ride a roller coaster than a plane, I think. And it's like normal people, you know, it's like planes, whatever, a roller coaster. They literally pay fucking money and sit in a line for fucking hours to ride this fucking death trap. And that's like, okay, it's like how you like that roller coaster is like how I like doing these paranormal investigations. I get a thrill out of it. Yeah, it's like, it's fun to do. And it's like you said, I don't just do it for content. I do. But also I enjoy doing it just for the fuck of it. It's just like, it's something I like doing. It's very interesting. There's a lot of history behind it, like what you guys said. You have to like history to do these stuff. You just can't go into it just not knowing anything, once again.
You do. You definitely have to have that history bug for sure. I've literally had it since I was a little kid. Like, history was always my best topic in school.
Well, and like on top of all that too, it's like I would much rather go do an investigation or like go and do something that I'm not used to doing rather than go to the bar or like go to a house party or like go spend shit tons of money on bowling or like go to the movies, which we always do that. Like what I mean? Like you have a town that's rich with history and you don't know anything about it for real.
Yeah, you get to learn like the history of that town or what happened there. It's like there's just so much to it. And I agree the same thing. I would rather. This is what I do for fun on the weekends now. It's like I don't really do shit during the week, and it's like when I do these investigations, it's a blast. I get to do the investigation. I get to sit there and edit it and go through it. Get to post it, share it with people so they understand. Like this is what happens here. This is the history behind that. This is what we caught, evidence-wise or whatever. And people get to understand, like, okay, whether you believe it or not, you don't have to fucking believe in it. We're not sitting here telling you, like, oh yeah, dude, ghosts are real, dude. You have to believe it, or we're gonna put a gun to your head, and it's like you can believe what you want, but like at the end of the day, I think more people need to have more of an open mind if they're going into this and like watching these, because once again, it's not just like Scooby-Doo. There's like a fucking person with a fucking sheet over their head running around in a cemetery. That's not what it is.
Yep.
Like at the end of the day,
like I think a lot of people think, oh, I'm gonna go to the cemetery at night and I'm gonna see a ghost with my own eyes and it's gonna be terrifying. Chances are, all you're gonna see is a little ball of light, and that's gonna be your ghost. Like that was probably the ghost. There's a little ball of light, and you either dismissed it immediately in seeing it, and your brain forgets about it, or you see it and you go, holy shit, that was crazy. Because when we were at the Utica Cemetery, when I ran into you, I was talking to that Vincent is his name. He's the guy who smokes a cigar. I seen a little ball of light, and I asked him, did I see you? And through the spirit box, he said, I think so. So, like, I mean, that's intelligent. He was able to manifest himself, but all he was able to do was show me a little ball of light. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that. For a spirit, it takes so much energy for them to probably fully show themselves. And are they going to be able to show themselves to multiple people? Probably not. They're going to pick one person that they can relate to or can attach themselves to in some sort of way and allow them to see that. You know what I mean? They're not going to show themselves to everyone.
No, it's like
someone goes, there's a man right there. Only you're the only person that's going to be able to see him.
Yeah, like what goes along with what he was saying. Me and I met Riley and his group when we both went to Unica that same night. They went in there before us, and then we went after, and we got totally different shit. It's like you don't go in there and see like what you're saying. It's like if let's say you saw a fucking shadow figure, that doesn't mean I'm gonna go in there right like literally 10 minutes after you did and see a shadow figure. That's not really how it works.
Not gonna happen. If it does, that's cool as fuck, but the chances are happening.
I mean, Mount Cemetery is a perfect example too. Like the first time we went, we didn't catch that shadow figure. We caught a bunch of other weird things, and then we went back, and it was all different. Like more EMF, more like picture taking, and saw orbs and stuff like that. And it's like we didn't get as much of that the first time. So
yeah, the first time we got crazy amounts of stuff. The second time we could barely even get anything out of the spirit box. Best evidence we had was from the EMF detector. And then randomly, you'll see this in our second part video. I think it'll be coming out in 2 weeks, so you have to wait a while for it. But there's literally a point where there's a deafening scream that happens. And we all hear it, and it's so loud that it makes the neighbor's dog start barking.
Was that the Banshee scream?
Jumping shit.
It'll be part 2 of Mouth Cemetery.
Oh, it's the mouth one. Okay, the mouth one. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be coming out in like 2 weeks probably.
Okay.
Got all this stuff like spaced out, but
yeah, it was at 3 a.m.
Yeah,
where it's like what the fuck?
Like 3, 4 in the morning. There shouldn't have been anyone out there.
Like who lets your dog out at 3 a.m. and go crazy like that too?
Yeah,
I don't even know if it was.
But the scream is crazy. It's like the one that we caught at Unica.
Oh yeah,
kind of. I would play it when my phone's dead.
Yeah, you showed me that Banshee scream, that recording you got. That was weird as fuck.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how to explain what that was. That was definitely weird for sure.
Either. He wasn't there, but
yeah. But when I heard it, I was like, oh, okay. Like who's just walking around a cemetery at night going, ah?
Right? It's like what?
Like okay. I mean, if that's what you want to do with your night, I'm not gonna like judge you, but I've done some
We're
weird
already
shit.
out here in a cemetery at night. We're already weird.
I love it.
If you guys have anything else to say, I guess give your last like comments, about like this live stream. I guess tell you once again, you can shout out your deets about like your channels and blah 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 blah.
Let's hope the night.
Thank
Search
you,
us out.
everybody.
Thank
Everybody
you
that's
for
going to
anyone.
watch and has watched.
Yeah,
We
thank
love
you,
you all.
everyone.
This has been a blast.
Yeah, definitely.
Look forward to collabing in the future again, whether it's just some more live streams or grouping up to do investigations, which we definitely will do with you.
This is going to happen. Like this is not like oh, no, like, this is gonna happen.
Oh no, for sure. I already planned it. The night I met Riley and stuff. I was like, dude, we got to do a video together. Like for sure, it's gonna
It's so
happen.
funny because like the day after, like after everybody woke up, he was like, "Bro, I met the coolest kid at Nunica," and I was like, "Huh? Like what?" It's like that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and if you guys like want me, I don't know how you do your podcast, but I would definitely come on your podcast as well.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot the shit on there and talk about whatever.
About it, I said we could pick a topic and talk about it.
Yeah, totally. We can do that. We can literally talk about anything. We don't.
And definitely, if we do a collaboration video, we should do like which I did with Drew and Amy when we did the investigation we did at St. Joseph Cemetery. Do an aftermath live stream talking about like what happened that night and stuff like that.
Oh,
like
yeah.
if we do a collab, we should definitely do that as well.
That's kind of what our like when we do investigations, we kind of make the podcast. It's kind of like our aftermath, so we could totally do that.
And we do like prelim where it's like, "Hey, this is the history." We go do it, and then we talk about it afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like we could do like one of these on your channel or like do the podcast. Like it doesn't matter to me. I mean, like I said, this is the first time I've ever done a live stream on YouTube like this, so this actually worked out really well. It was a blast.
Yeah.
So we can definitely do more of these.
Totally down. It's super easy to do these too. Actually, you'd think it's like a lot more difficult than it actually really is.
Yeah, because I had Drew trying to explain me. I mean, when we first tried to start this, I was like, "Oh shit, what do I do?" I was doing the wrong one.
Like
we figured it. We figured it out. We got this. So, but yeah. So I don't really, unless there's anything else you want to talk about, I guess we can kind of like wrap it up.
Good. I'm good. I think we covered a lot of things tonight.
I'll say we'll save some stuff for the next time we do this.
Yeah.
Like the next investigation. So we don't talk about everything at once.
Right.
Yeah, literally everything's covered.
Check out all of our videos if you're watching this.
Our YouTube.
Go watch out all of his videos. Watch all of our videos. Like everything.
Like and subscribe. Turn the fucking bell notification on. Yeah, I definitely will link these guys in this. Once again, I'm new to this. Once I end this broadcast, I got to figure out. I'm sure it'll like walk me through it, but I will put their link to their YouTube channel in there. I guess send me your podcast link so I can put that in there too.
Like if you look up it on Spotify, it's like probably like one of the easiest ones, or iTunes. But it's like it's on most of the major platforms. So.
And
it's just called "What Goes Bump in the Night."
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, if you guys check
podcast, it'll come up.
So yeah, if you guys want to check them out, their podcast is really good. If you're into like creepy, weird shit, paranormal shit, or whatever, anything that goes bump in the night, check these guys out. It's definitely interesting. I've watched a bunch of their stuff. It's really good. Otherwise, I wouldn't have these guys on here. And like I said, I met these guys at Nunica, and the rest is history. So this was, I guess, the first episode of a. I don't even know what I'm going to call this. I just called it a paranormal live stream, but we'll see what it goes from here.
Paranormal live stream.
So yeah, I will, and I guess part one. What did you say? And I guess share this on your guys' like Facebook and shit, and I'll share it on like Instagram, all the social medias. And until next time, I guess we'll catch you guys on the flip flop, and that's about it. So. I guess peace out.
Your ears and eyes open. What really goes bump in the night.
All right. Ciao.
See you, buddy.
Peace out.
Oh.